Hello and welcome to the Away Day Experience Show. This is Back of the Net and we are an AFC Bournemouth fan channel. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
How are you, Thomas?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate, all good.
Good to hear. We go to every single game
We do.
in the Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, whatever division we're in. We'll be there. But by chance, we're in the Premier League thanks to Super Scotty Parker. Therefore, we can analyse what it's like at an away day and then create a tier list based on how good it is. But it's important to note one thing. The football. We don't talk about the football. It's nothing to do with the football. It's to do with everything but the football, Tom.
Yeah, everything in an away game that you get apart from what's on the pitch. And at the moment, as a Bournemouth fan, that's probably better. But yeah, we go through loads of different categories and then whack you in a tier list. So we go, pre-match experience. What's it like before a ball's kicked in terms of what's it like to get there, pubs, cafes, whatever you do before the game. Then we go into, once you're in there, what's the concourse like? What's the refreshments like? You kind of do them things at half time. What's it like in there? Stadium in the view. So aesthetically, what's it like to look at and what's it like from where you're sat? Then the atmosphere from the home fans, which obviously varies a lot, so that's always interesting talking point. And then the people themselves. We like to try and chat to a lot of the home fans when we're there. So yeah, what are they like and how approachable are them? And then we whack it in a tier list. And at the moment, it's quite nice because it's very varied at the moment for the games we've been to. So yeah, it's quite tight at the moment.
Do you want a cheeky look at the tier list? There it is.
Lemon, mate,
Tom,
lemon.
I mean, so, okay, firstly, talk me through these categories then, because we've got banging visit. I suppose that's self-explanatory.
Bang a visit is self-explanatory. That is the best you want for an away day, apart from what's on the pitch. It's the best you want from it. And Newcastle, probably expectedly, I think most people like Newcastle away day, but it was the banger.
We lost 9-0 to Liverpool, but it's in... of course, it's not about the football, isn't it?
Proves our point, exactly.
Okay,
Didn't even need to mention it. Just look at that tier list and you go, they can't talk about the football. We lost 9-0. But Liverpool, Nottingham Forest and Fulham all in decent day, which is probably just slightly better than what you'd expect from your away day. And then in the middle, and can't complain, is Man City and Leeds are in there at the moment, which is, I was happy with it. Probably, pros and cons to it. Mayor not the best. Chelsea have just gone in there to fill that category. So just slightly below average. And then right at the bottom, what a waste of petrol, was just horrific as an away day.
Bring your binoculars.
And yeah, it's West Ham, which is probably not too unsurprising. And I think even West Ham fans know that from, because I know that when we done Upton Park, if we had ever done Upton Park, it wouldn't have been there. So, but yeah, nice little variety in there, mate. And wonder where the next one will go.
Well, with this in mind, who is it? Manchester United! Old Trafford.
We've already done the other half of Manchester.
Oh yeah, we have. I'll tell you what, there's a bit of sibling rivalry there.
Yeah.
This is going to be really interesting, actually, given the categories that we've got. All right, then, we're going to start then with the pre-match experience. Now, obviously, there are certain things that we have to take into account.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even a Sky Sports thing. It was just moved to a Tuesday night, 3rd of January at 8 o'clock, when everyone has work or school the next day, which was not good.
Got an R4.
I got back at 5 a.m. Had work the next day. Absolute joke.
At least it was a good... Oh, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, the weather was okay. Oh, no, it's pissing it down, I think. Yeah. But you know what? Look, we're going to talk about the pre-match experience, and we'll try to temper our agony with regards to the travel. But look, we parked relatively easily. We parked at a Holiday Inn on Salford Quays, I think it was, and then we had a 4-minute walk to our pre-match destination, which was the Lime Bar, which is just opposite Media City on the quay there, and it was all right there.
I quite liked it. Yeah, I did quite like it. I've never been there before. Got said about that kind of thing. And like you say, the actual, as much as it was a, I feel for Man U here, but it was a pain in the arse. It was a Tuesday night in terms of travel and all that stuff. But actually, the parking in the Holiday Inn and then the short walk to the Lime Bar was really handy. And went in there, and it was quite a nice environment, a nice place to go. We managed to get a decent spot on a table and a big TV.
Very much a kind of like post-work drink bar, that kind of vibe.
But I liked it, and the kind of distance from car to pub to stadium, and that was all quite nice actually. So I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the pub.
What's quite nice is when I go to these like pubs and stuff, I'm hanging around with like famous people like Tiggs and Tom and stuff. You weren't the most famous person in that bar.
I forgot about that. There was Max was in there behind the bar, who does a lot with Stephen Tries. So,
really?
Yeah, he was working there. What? I think it was actually Ryan that spotted him, wasn't it? Who we were with, and we gave him a shout. He didn't really want to get involved in it, but no, that was a surprise, a nice little surprise for us. He was in there, but it was, to be fair, there was because it wasn't a designated away pub, but they were happy to have us in there. There was a few Man U fans in there as well, but it was all quite a nice kind of vibe, really. Yeah. I actually got some food. I don't normally get food before the game, but I think someone got some food, and it was so quick.
You know, like a cartoon whiff, and then you couldn't help yourself.
But it comes so quick as well. And I was like, oh, normally you have to wait. I thought, I'll get some, and it was actually quite nice. Relatively decent price as well. So I was really happy. I'd put it this way: if we went back to Man U when we stay up, I would be well happy to go there again. I was happy.
Walk to the stadium was what, 15 minutes or so?
Which I always think anything under 20, I'll take it.
And we even had a burger on the way, didn't we? From a good burger.
It's a good point, that is, from you.
It was £8, but you know.
Was it £8? I'd had a few. I just done the old contract. £8. But that makes more sense now with my financial situation.
It was a £half pounder rather than a £quarter pounder, so that makes.
Was it? I think it was Neil Dawson that said to us about, no, pop in here before you go into the ground. I said, all right, got one. Well happy with it, mate. Yeah. I was happy with it, to be fair. It was a nice one. But yeah, in terms of pre-match experience, it's probably better than I expected from Man U. I really liked it. I do like, if you haven't checked out the Line Bar, I did like it.
I mean, there are, me and you have been up to Manchester so many times over the last year with the FCAs, with the PFA award, the overlap, twice.
Yeah.
We've been up a lot, and also recently we were there, end of last season, for even matches like Blackburn and stuff, we saved Manchester. So it feels like we should have a second home in Manchester. So we know it well, and when we do the overlap and stuff like that, that's filmed at the O2 Victoria Warehouse, we always go to the
Bishop's Blaze.
The Bishop Blaze or something like that.
Like a Wetherspoons.
But all those venues are so close to Old Trafford, so really there aren't really many away-friendly pubs. No. And so that's one that I would go to again, because I think, like Man City, they sort of direct you, they usher you into the city centre, but this is one that's relatively close and actually quite a good vibe. And we saw a few of the AFC Bournemouth Ultras there as well, legends. So it was nice to see them. It was a quick walk to the ground, and pre-match experience for an 8 o'clock kickoff. Actually was good.
I'm going to go positive because I think you've got to put that in. Normally we put that in and say that's a negative, it being, but to be fair, I really enjoyed it, mate. So I'm going to go for an 8. 8 out of 10. Very strong.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, Concourse and Refreshments then, buddy. What did you think at Old Trafford?
It's okay. I don't think it's anything. I've seen a lot of Man U fans and pundits and Neville and stuff like that say about kind of how everything inside it, they haven't done enough to it over the years.
Tired.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good word.
You got that vibe, yeah.
And you do get that when you go in there. It is a bit tired, and you do think it could do with just a bit of a revamp in there. And you do. I think it's because you think, I'm at Old Trafford, the Theatre of Dreams. I'm at one of the most successful clubs ever.
And the biggest club stadium in the UK.
Yeah, and you just you probably want a bit more from it. And the Concourse and Refreshments are very just basic.
Yeah, it was tired.
Bloody cars, bro.
Yeah, it was tired. But one thing I will give them credit for was I saw out the first half. I think you went down on 38 or whatever it was, and then I did see out the first half, and it was about a couple of minutes after half time. I went down thinking to myself, oh my god, I'm never going to get a beer. But then they had a kiosk on the left hand side.
Oh, you said that? I didn't know that.
I got served straight away, and you know what?
That's always good.
It was Carling. It was a bottle of Carling, but it was £3. And like £3 for a bottle of Carling, that's all right. That's okay. It's Carling, but it's what? Not happy?
Carling.
Yeah, but £3. How much do you pay at Dean Court?
Yeah, that's a fair point, and it could be
we have got Moretti, but
Yeah, well, we're a big club. And Amstel. We've got Amstel, Moretti, we've got everything.
Beavertown, yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you there. And I didn't realise that. I thought I'm never going to see you at half time. You come over and said there was a little kiosk, which was nice. But yeah, I think they're probably getting downgraded a little bit here because it's Man United. But it just feels like it could do with a little bit of a revamp, which I'm sure.
And food was standard.
Just standard stuff. But I do feel like the Man U fans would probably agree with us here that it probably does need a little bit of lighting up.
They did have a little welcome Bournemouth fans sign. It was a hastily put together bit of perspex.
We'll just respect that, mate. We'll just respect that.
But out of 10?
We'll go for. I don't know what I was going to go. We'll go 5. We'll go straight down the middle. I think that's fair. 5 average.
Next, then, Stadium and View. Obviously, a grand old stadium. Old being the word. I think that's one of the things that a few supporters associations up at Old Trafford. Kind of one of the things that they really want is for the stadium to be modernised and to be improved aesthetically. I mean, it's a great stadium.
Yeah.
In terms of, look, we've, you know, like as a kid, watching Champions League nights at Manchester United, you know, you sort of think, oh my God, wow, and then you go there.
I think that's the issue they have. Yeah, I think that is the issue they have, that you have this feeling of Man United and Old Trafford, and when you go there, you can't help but be a little bit underwhelmed.
I mean, you know, from a distance, it's beautiful, it's amazing, but when you go close up, you sort of realise it's quite antiquated in some ways.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the view is okay.
But yeah, the view is good.
Fine.
I mean, like we're relatively close to the bit, and look, we were sat a bit further back, so we could have been a little bit more forward than what we were.
Yeah, but you can't complain about the view really.
And we're on a corner, right? We're on a corner.
Kind of on the corner, yeah, which is fine, and it's all good. I think again, it kind of goes back to the previous category of that kind of, it just needs a little bit in it. And I think I've heard a lot of this from people and Man U fans and pundits, as I say, that are kind of saying it just needs a bit more. And I've always thought, oh bloody hell, they're going on about. And then when you go there, you kind of like, I get it, I do get it, because this club is absolutely, it's a monster of a football club.
When the Glazers are out, maybe that will happen.
Potentially, and I think obviously Ten Hag's gone in there and, you know, talk about the football briefly, that they seem to be on the right path. If this comes next, that's exactly what they want. But yeah, it just needs a bit of, because it's such a big club, it just needs a bit more to it. So, stadium and view, I'll go a little bit high because I don't mind the view at all. So I'm going to go for a 6. 6.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Right. One of the things that I stereotypically think is that when you go to big clubs, the atmosphere is not going to be very good, and some clubs live up to that. We had on our last review, Chelsea. You know, you think it's going to be a big. Maybe the opposition plays into that a little bit. It's Bournemouth, who cares about that? But when walking into Old Trafford, like, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes before kickoff, the fans were singing. 10 minutes before kickoff, they were singing, "Bring on United, bring on United, bring on United." Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's only there are a few of them singing it, but it's like, wow.
I think that's the thing. I think
it's all right.
I think if you just took it for what it is, you go, oh, that's okay. But when you go to all the games, as we do, and you can see on previous videos, it's a pleasant surprise, because a lot of Man U fans, if you're watching, you'll be very happy to hear my next sentence, which is, I tell you what, Liverpool don't compare. It doesn't, and that's not me. I know I've had on previous videos people said I've got this, I don't like Liverpool. I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of Man United, really, because I'm a Bournemouth fan, I don't really care about them. But I'm not being funny, mate. Both of them, when they're playing, I always say, Liverpool beat us 9-0, and it was dead. Man United they did keep singing.
If you can have a sound graph at Liverpool, you'll never walk alone.
Oh yeah, good point.
And then
Man U's quite consistent, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was fairly consistent. And what's, you know, the fans to our left.
Yeah, they were the ones, weren't they?
Quite vocal, and you know what? They were giving us some shit as well.
Yeah, and I like that.
You know, we've got one, we've got a stand bigger than your ground or something like that.
I mean, all your stands are probably bigger than our ground, so you can that.
But you know, whilst it's you know, it's hard to stomach, and we didn't have any retort to that. By the way, we couldn't reply to that in any sarcastic way.
And also from an away fan atmosphere. Quickly, we were really poor.
Yeah. But there were Man United fans in our stand.
Yeah, which is not ideal.
You know, there's a guy in front of Neil Dawson who had an AFC Bournemouth scarf and a Man United screensaver on his phone.
Oh, lovely.
And you know, there was in the toilets at full time after the result, some lad took off his top and revealed a Man United.
I think that's partly our fault that we didn't sell out.
But
and listen, we've got it goes to the same to Liverpool and all these other big football clubs, that there's going to be that tourist element as well because they're such a big club. And I'll counteract the thing just briefly with the Liverpool stuff. I'm always aware that they're playing Bournemouth. They're not going to be. It's not going to be like a Champions League night. We know Liverpool can get. We've seen them on a Champions League night. It's unbelievable. But Man U, fair play to them. Like, they're playing Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And they were pretty good. I do want to say the Argentina chant. Can someone explain it? They just won the World Cup, Argentina. They've got an Argentinian, Lisandro Martinez.
Okay. Well, we've got an Argentinian.
We have. I mean, he didn't go to the World Cup.
No, but we're not banging on about it.
But they brought him on. He's not a club legend.
There's a big Argentina flag in the corner, like a massive one.
He's been there 5 minutes. He didn't start. Did he start one World Cup game? He didn't play. He was actually not playing because Otamendi was playing, who's a failed Man City player. And they were chanting Argentina. I never thought there was this thing, and I'll be interested to know, because a few Man U fans said to me that they've done this before.
I think a lot of people in the Northwest are fairly apathetic about England,
which is fine.
And a lot of like for instance Liverpool, like Scout's not English and all that. And I think that's probably a contributing factor. But I don't know, when you've got like a central defender and a left back in your team that's playing for England, then it's kind of like, why are you just singing Argentina?
Yeah, it just felt a little bit strange. And I would get it if it was like the hero of your football club. Martinez has been there a couple of months. It seemed a bit odd, but
the atmosphere was good.
But I've got to give them it for the atmosphere. It surprised me.
Can I ask you? Okay, so you said they're better than Liverpool. Are they better than Man City? I don't think they are.
I think it was very close.
But Man City, do you remember that? Like Bernardo.
Yeah, that was good. Man U fans are going to click off. But yeah, no, what I will say is all these big football clubs that we've just got Arsenal to do, haven't we? We've done Spurs. Tottenham, if we're calling them a big club. But Big Six. And the two Manchester actually pleasantly surprised me compared to Chelsea and Liverpool.
Good, yeah.
And that's just going off, as I always say in these videos, if there's anyone watching that's from a completely neutral club, has that been the same for you? Do you know what I mean? I'd be interested. But I would say they're pretty similar to City. You sound like you think City was slightly better.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I would have gone on par.
Okay.
But I'm going to go 7 for the atmosphere because I thought that was, I thought it was decent.
Okay, the people, really interesting, the people. Chat to a few people, chat to a couple of guys in the Lime Bar. Kieran was one of them, Kish was another.
They were on the vlog, weren't they?
Yeah, and his dad, AJ, like really, really sound guys. And I think obviously on Twitter and stuff, you get a different breed of fans. Of course. In person though, you get the real fans that actually go to the games and don't watch from their armchairs at home. And they were actually really sound people. And there wasn't any cockiness from the fans. Like, do you remember after West Ham? And that's in the bottom category. That's for a reason. The people, there were some nice people in the pub beforehand, but after the game, they were right old shits. And they were giving us shit. Like,
I don't know if I never thought I'd say this first. I quite like a Manc.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really. I think they're quite
down to earth.
Yeah, and they're quite warm. I feel quite inviting, and
I mean they're more friendly than the Southerners.
What surprised me, probably another thing that Man U fans were quite like. I don't know if you agree, but at Man City, it felt like there were so many more touristy fans than there were at Man United. It probably wasn't like that in the ground.
Well, all of them were in our end,
of course. But in terms of talking to them, it just felt a little bit more. And as I say, the Man U are going in the right direction now, which is probably helping that feel-good factor. But I enjoyed the people I briefly spoke to, mate. So I'm quite happy with them. So I'm gonna go for a 7 for that as well for the people. Quite
7.
Happy with it, yeah.
Okay, Tom's going for 7, which brings us to our tier list. Here it is on screen right now. Now you can see their nearest and dearest are in Can't Complain. Their next kind of rivals, well, I'd say the Liverpool, probably more of a rival than Man City, really, but they're in Decent Day and Can't Complain, respectively. United, this is a real tricky one. Okay, I'm going to say something that I think that whether this was a 3 o'clock Saturday or a 5:30, I'm not sure it would have changed anything.
Okay.
I don't think it would have.
No, I probably agree. It's I was happy. Yeah, I was happy with it, and it
wasn't banging.
No, it certainly wasn't banging, and it certainly wasn't horrific in what ways petrol. But it can kind of vary from all them things. And I'm looking at it and going, I don't want to give them. We have given them a lot of plaudits here, but I don't want to give them too many plaudits for, like, say, the atmosphere, because I think we're saying it was good, considering the other bigger clubs have not been as good. So that doesn't. It still wasn't the atmosphere of some of. I mean, it wasn't the atmosphere of Leeds, for example. And I just think it's that, as I say, that I think Man U fans will agree with. It just needs a bit of a spicing up it as a stadium and as a whole, because it's just a bit worn and tired, as you mentioned, mate. But it was good. It was good. I kind of want to give them a little bit, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to be cheeky.
Go on, what?
Because I'm going to say, or they're thinking, they're in there going, can we beat City and Leeds? We hate City, we hate Leeds. I'm going to put them with them.
Oh, okay.
I will make a little counterpoint that I think we will probably revamp this at the end of the season and put them in complete order, because we don't tend to put the actual, when they're in the same tier, in an order. Yeah. But if it were, it was better than City and Leeds in my opinion. Just for me.
When I'm thinking of pre-match experience, yes.
But when you're thinking kind of more stadium and stuff like that, maybe Leeds beats it. Is that a fair shout?
I I'm going to have a rethink.
Yeah,
but the story hasn't finished here.
No.
Subscribe, because at the end we're going to recalibrate this list and we're going to take all these things into consideration.
Yeah. It's in the middle, but it's definitely looking up rather than it's looking down, I would say, because it was a lot better than Chelsea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't mind it at all, and I'm putting it bang in the middle for that reason, mate.
There we go. That's our away day tier list rating for Manchester United. They're in Can't Complain. Coming up next on this series, who have we got?
Who have we got? Oh, Brentford, new stadium.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to that, mate. I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, it used to be a pub on every corner, didn't it?
Oh, the good times.
But now it's on this kind of triangle chunk of land in between like roads and like railways and stuff. So where are we going to go for? I don't know if there's a pub on every corner of the triangle. Well, I don't know. We'll have to find out. But yeah, Man United fans, how are you feeling? Is that okay? Could we have done anything different or better? And what do you think about your own stadium as well? Do you think it does need a bit of investment? I would say it probably does. Maybe you agree. But anyway, lovely to see you. Lovely to see you too, Tom.
Thank you, mate. Love to see you, Sam.
And we'll reconvene for Brentford.
Oh, looking forward to it, mate. Brand new one. Looking forward to this one. Cheers for watching.
Up the chairs.
Come on.